Everybody. I want to give everyone the respect they deserve in the mission side story. All right, we're going to start over on this side. Okay, your name, what church you're with, and what's your favorite hot dog topping?
My name is Aubrey. I'm from Bible Baptist, and I do not like hot dogs.
Oh. What about hamburgers?
Cheese.
Cheeseburger.
Okay, your mission side story.
Okay, so Robbie and I have the same story, basically. We were doing a lot of drywalling yesterday and today, and we found out that neither of us can properly measure drywall, so there was a lot of recutting, and today's Devo was about like keeping a good attitude, and so just like it was a very frustrating thing, but kind of keeping that in mind, we were able to keep good attitudes and kind of joke about it.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Woo! Okay. Are these with you or are you separate? Okay. Are you ready? Okay. Your name, what church you're with, and what's your favorite Jello?
I'm singing Small Partner with the Season Talk. We're from Bible Baptist. I like the red Jello.
Okay, got it. Okay, what's your mission side story?
So we were doing drywall yesterday, and we messed it up, so we had to take like all of it off. And then we found a piece that fit another spot that we didn't even measure, and I was like so close. It saved us like so much time.
Awesome! Give it up for God! Alright. And then you guys together or just her? Alright. Okay. Name, what church you're with, and your favorite condiment.
Vera, I'm with Greenville, and changes every day. So we were like kind of taken late, and we were on the porch, and we all started singing "Baby" by Justin Bieber and rocking out to it. We had too much fun.
That is good. Alright. Name, church, and what question should I ask you? Make it difficult. Okay. What's your favorite type of car?
Nate Shive with Bible Baptist. I was born in North Hills, Pennsylvania, if that's of any. A very long time ago. It was just called Hills then. Favorite car is a 2002 Dodge Ram 3500 15-passenger van, 5.9 liter engine, 8-cylinder.
Yes, sir.
I had to bribe Nevaeh here. I had to slip her a 20 to lend me the microphone for a moment. So I didn't give that to you yet? All right, so you guys can sit down. Does that violate some camp regulation? Okay, well, that's even better. I wanted to just share for a moment. This is my 10th mission trip in this format. I'm here with a couple of adults from our church and 10 of the finest young people you'll ever meet. Senior among them is Morgan Johnston. This is her 7th trip with us, meaning that Morgan has heard this story about 7 times. For Morgan. You only get to hear it once, most of you. The rest of you can read about it later, cover that. But Erica was speaking last night about a very great message last night. Erica did a great job. Speaking about, amongst other things, about outcasts. And when we're outcasts, it's often not our doing. It could be other circumstances, things outside our control, or just cut off from society for whatever reason. When I was about your age, about 15 or 16, I actually had made myself an outcast. And the very brief story is, I'm living in South Africa, living on the mission field, and when I was 15, my parents got transferred from one ministry site to another site on the other side of the country. I'm 15 going on 16, starting 10th grade, and I became very fatalistic. I'm like, I've got 3 years left of high school. I'm not going to even try. Didn't know anybody there, really. Didn't know anybody. I'm like, I'm not even going to try to make friends. I'm just going to focus on school and get out of here in 3 years. And I poured myself into my schoolwork. And I was studying Friday nights, I was studying most of Saturday. I'd go to church Sunday, study most of Sunday. Might go shopping here or there, might go out to eat, but that was basically my life. And my grades were amazing. I was basically getting all A's. The only reason I didn't get straight A's in my 10th grade year is because of some overzealous English teacher. And the only reason she's still alive is that I haven't found her yet, but anyway. I was basically getting very good grades. And I'm thinking, my parents are going to be thrilled. I've been kind of a mediocre student up to that point. I'm getting great grades. I'm not getting any trouble. My parents always know where I am. They've got to be thrilled. My parents were, as most parents are, believe it or not, young people, my parents were smarter than me. And they realized I've got 3 years left of high school, and they didn't want me to just graduate with a halfway decent academic record and head off to college. And they realized I needed some type of social development, something where I could interact with other people and at least make some friends, maybe have some good experiences beyond just schoolwork. So about halfway through 10th grade, January 1986, they decided we're going to visit this church down the road. It was the Church of the Nazarene, some of you might have heard of. We had no connection with that denomination at all, but my parents said we're going to visit that church this Sunday in January 1986. We walk in there, and I go off to the teen Sunday school class. Yeah, whatever. And we introduce ourselves and go through. So I talked to a couple people. It was fine. Yeah, whatever. You know, I've changed churches so many times. Just another experience. Sunday school's over. I'm like, well, I gotta go find my parents, get ready for the morning service. They're like, nah, you're coming with us. Really? And it was like I was a famous person or the president or whatever. The group of young men, my age, my peers, who didn't know anything about me, they surrounded me like I was some kind of celebrity, escorted me into the sanctuary, and we all sat together. That moment changed my life. That day changed my life. Changed my whole perspective on everything. Made friends that day that I still have today. About 6 months after that, well, we learned within a week or so that they were planning that July, at the end of my 10th grade year, they were planning a missions trip to Gaborone, Botswana, about 4 hours away, the next country over. My first thought was, well, that's ridiculous. I'm already on the mission field. I'm not going to go on another missions trip. That's like from the Department of Redundancy Department. Why would I do that? And my parents are like, yeah, you're going. Don't make me go. Like, not only are you going, your sister's going with you. I know, not that. Not that. And now my sister's calling me. That's my daughter. Okay. I'll call you back.
Wow. This guy.
She's heard the story before. She doesn't hear it again. My parents are like, you're going to this missions trip and you're taking your sister with you. I go, fine, whatever. I'm going. And so that July, we pile into a van, drive 4 hours across the Kalahari Desert. We go and paint a church. That week, I wouldn't say it changed my life, but it certainly reinforced what I had already experienced the previous months with that body of believers, those young people at the Horizon Church of the Nazarene in Rudaport, South Africa. Again, set me on a course for those last 2 years of high school, gave me strength to get through that, many changes there, getting into college, and so on. Why am I sharing that with you? You're all mostly awake. I'll get that right. Hopefully all mostly awake. That missions trip is why I'm here today, and why I've been able to lead 10 of these trips with some fantastic people. Very proud of our youth and our adults that give up a week of their summer to do this. And I'm proud of all of you, even though I don't know you. Giving up a week of your summer to come and serve other people, maybe giving up a week of vacation or whatever, to give that up to serve others. That says bounds and bounds of wonderful things for all of you. But beyond that, I want to emphasize one point. When I attended that church, and we were only there for a brief time, maybe not even a year and a half, that I had this level of influence on me. It was not the pastor of that church that made a difference. I've had about 7 pastors in my life. This guy wasn't even in the top 10, if you catch my drift. Pastor, he was okay, but he was not an impactful figure in my life. And it wasn't even the youth leaders that impacted me. They were good people, they meant well, but that mission trip I referenced to Botswana, that was actually organized by a youth leader in another church. Put that together. The youth leaders of the church I attended, they weren't that engaged. They'd show up, but they weren't that involved. It was the young people, it was the youth who made that difference in my life. It was all of you who made the difference. all of you have that opportunity to reach out to your peers and make a difference in their lives, and that difference will continue for decades. And maybe some of you and some of your peers will be standing in this position in 30 or 40 years. It was 38 years ago that this happened to me, over 38 years. You all have that opportunity. Just like you're reaching out to the homeowners and the people in need here in Blair County, you have that opportunity back at your homes, back at your churches, back in your schools. Look for that new person, that first-time visitor. These kids in Horizon, they didn't know anything about me. They didn't know anything about my background, but they made me feel welcome that very day. Look for that first-time visitor. You don't know about his or her background. You don't know what turmoil he or she might have had in his or her life. Look for that outcast. Look for the one who's isolated. Find them. Reach out to them. Bring them into the group. Make sure they're included. You are the people who can make the difference. Make the difference with your peers. And one last little note. One person, David, who was in the group I mentioned, he ended up being best man at my wedding. We've stayed close, still talk. He's been texting me this week. I've been sending him updates about the trip. I told him this story many years ago about what an impact he and others had had on me. And he said, well, you know, Shive, you made a difference too in my life. That never even occurred to me. But by blessing others, I was able to be blessed, and vice versa. So I encourage all of you to spend that time, but again, like Erica was teaching last night, look for that person who's not included and find them and bring them in. You will make a difference in their lives and in yours. Thank you for tolerating me.
I'm not gonna cry. I was like tearing up. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so good. It's so powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, that's nailed it, y'all. He nailed that.
Yeah.
Okay, now for a very special moment with my people. Hey, people.